Only one man will leave the UFC middleweight champion, and here we go!
No touch of gloves by Henderson.
Red, white, and blue trunks for Henderson, the white on the back. The familiar colors of yellow and black for Anderson, the Spider Silva. A feeling out process early.
Both men very respectful of each other's skills.
And they should be. Kick by Henderson. Can Henderson stand up with Anderson Silva, Joe?
We're going to find out.
Yeah,
There's only one way to find out.
Exactly. Or should he, maybe, is the more appropriate question.
Well, one thing Anderson likes to do, and we saw it in the first fight with Rich Franklin, he likes to let guys throw some stuff, and he just moves around and lets you. He wants to just gauge your timing and try to figure out how fast you're moving, and then he attacks. He gives you some time, lets you do what you got to do, and then he comes on strong.
5 minutes for each of the 5 scheduled rounds.
But what he doesn't do is attack recklessly.
Inside leg kick. Henderson tried to come over the top. He ate an uppercut, though.
Blocked the high kick.
Henderson has some serious knockout power. And he has never been knocked out. Silva is just so versatile.
Yeah, he will create some very unusual moves in the ring. One of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen, he knocked out Tony Franklin with the weirdest
There's
elbow
another
ever.
perfect example,
He threw
Joe.
an inside crescent kick. He threw an elbow that came up from the bottom. It came up, standing up towards the chin, like an uppercut. It was crazy. Knocked him out cold.
Tried to come in from an odd angle there.
Big clinch and the takedown. And Anderson Silva is a legitimate black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under the Nogueira brothers. So, interesting to see how he handles this position.
Well, this is certainly what Henderson wants to do. Impose his will, punish Silva, break him down. And he's one of the best in the world at doing so. Only 2 men have submitted Henderson, ironically, both the Nogueiras in Henderson's long career.
And both of those guys, much larger fighters.
Absolutely.
Henderson, that's how tough he is. He fought Minotauro, and Minotauro was 230. And Henderson, you know, barely weighs 200.
Henderson with the distance with Quentin Rampage Jackson in London, trying to unify the light heavyweight title. He was not able to capture the UFC belt. Rampage kept it. Now he gets a chance here at 85.
Those hammer fists, they don't look like much, but they're doing some damage. They're landing right in the temple over and over again. Anderson doing a good job of controlling Dan's posture, though, keeping him from landing anything else.
Seconds remains in round number 1.
Good elbow by Henderson.
Joe, Dan Henderson said that no disrespect to Silva's previous opponents, but he thought that all those guys were good matchups for Anderson Silva, just stylistically. And as you talked about, he feels like he's a bad matchup for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, stylistically, he's the worst matchup for him. I mean, he's just unbelievably tough and a fantastic wrestler. Olympic caliber, world class.
Keeps covering the mouth, trying to disrupt the breathing pattern of Anderson Silva. Hammer fisting away. Is certainly the most perhaps punishing and powerful man that Silva has faced, especially
Anderson,
here in the octagon.
He's passed here. If he, I mean, he really is inside control. Right there, he goes. Now
30 seconds. Good first round for Dan Henderson.
Phenomenal first round for Henderson. Henderson spins out,
tries
gets
to
the guard
for position. We know Silva has submissions. We saw him work on a very good jiu-jitsu artist in Travis Luter. But the American opens up this fight in style.
Great round for Henderson.
Standing ovation here in Columbus. And there are the national team members.
They're pretty pumped. Let's take a look at why they're pumped. Dan got a hold of him, got a body lock, trips him, bang, gets on top, spent a little bit of time in half guard, then eventually moved to side control. Didn't land anything huge, but he landed a lot of these hammer fists, and then some more elbows and punches.
Olha pra mim. Acredite na sua guarda. Abre, repõe e bota na guarda. Grita, cara. Tô falando. Ó, em pé. Deixa eu te falar.
Somebody go get Chris Wilson and tell him to translate.
Absolutely.
His hips away from me on the ground. That was perfect. Good transmission.
Matt Lindland, dangerous 185-pound fighter himself.
On your toes, I need your feet forward, circle around.
Come on, get out, guys. Come on, get that stool, get out of here.
The old school warrior, against a multifaceted and dangerous striker and UFC middleweight champion. Set for round number 2. Good strikes early, attempted by Henderson Silva. Attacking from a lot of different angles, as Joe talked about.
One of the beautiful things about this fight is that it's a 5-rounder as well. And I really get to see these guys stretch their game out.
And that's something that Henderson pointed to on frequent occasion, Joe, is that he's been in the 5-round wars where Silva has never seen one in his career, especially here in the UFC. I mean, he hasn't been out of the 2nd round inside the octagon.
That's a very good point, but he is in phenomenal condition.
No question.
And I mean, he's so professional. You know, when I talked to Ed Soares, his manager, about his training regimen, I mean, the guy is just, he's the epitome of a professional.
Good head movement by Silva, trying to set up an attack.
Great leg kick, and Henderson lands a right hand over the top.
And finished with an uppercut. He has that devastating right hand as Dan Henderson.
He's eating some kicks, though. Even blocking these kicks in the arm is very dangerous.
Silva looking for top position.
Henderson drags him down, pulls guard. And that's a testament to the versatility of Dan Henderson. If he can't get to the fight to the ground by a takedown, he'll just pull guard and just have some faith in his ability to control the fight once he gets a hold of your body.
There aren't many skills, if any, that these men don't possess. UFC 82, pride of a champion, our main event of the evening. Middleweight title fight, Henderson and Silva.
This is also the first training camp that Dan Henderson did at Big Bear.
Yep.
Which should be significant as well because he trained at altitude, and so he should have a lot more oxygen to use for this fight. And as Anderson is a very difficult opponent to train for, so is Dan Henderson. Very difficult to find a wrestler with that kind of punching power.
And this Greco clinch.
Yeah, and that's really significant as well, is that he's got the perfect style of wrestling. The Greco-Roman style seems to be the best style to adapt to mixed martial arts. Good right hand by Henderson.
Watch out for the knee, he caught him, and another one. Henderson's in trouble. Henderson slides under. Silva looking to finish. He caught him with a big knee. And
big
an elbow by Henderson Silva. Silva got his clinch, and he delivered a quick knee, a devastating knee. Anderson Silva now working in Henderson's half guard.
Henderson trying to regroup, trying to control Anderson here. Every time he lets him go, though, every time he loses control of his posture, it's dangerous.
Under 2 minutes remains in the 2nd round. Fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Middleweight title on the line here tonight, Joe.
Henderson's in half guard right now, but it's a very loose half guard. There's nothing really keeping Anderson Silva's leg in there. Well, now he's got it locked down.
Welterweight title at UFC 83. Lightweight title to be contested at UFC 84. Tickets for UFC 84 go on sale tomorrow. UFC.com, Ticketmaster.com, MGM Grand Box Office.
BJ Penn versus Sean Shirk. Are you kidding me?
All we do is have a great title fight. Good second round for the UFC champion.
He's got Dan's back here.
A lot of time to work. Oh, trying to work his way up with an elbow is Dan Henderson.
Dan's got to be careful. He's back mounted. He's in deep trouble here.
Silva's got the hooks in, Joe. This is big trouble for Dan Henderson.
If he flattens Dan out, Dan's in real big trouble.
Silva looking.
Body triangle.
To finish Henderson here.
This is real bad because he's squeezing and he restricts Dan's breathing.
This is where we are reminded again that this man is much more than a striker.
Now this is even worse because he flattens him out.
25 seconds remains.
He can submit people from this position alone without even the choke. Dan's
20
in
seconds
deep
remain.
trouble.
Silva trying to finish it. Anderson Silva looking to choke out Henderson.
Dan is in deep trouble. He's down.
It's all over.
Wow.
Anderson Silva remains the UFC middleweight champion.
How versatile is that guy? The one guy that we thought would be his biggest challenger, and he doesn't even get out of the second round. Man!
After an outstanding round number one turned in by Henderson, Silva got a dominant position, and it all started with that Muay Thai clinch Joe in the knee. And then he was able to methodically finish this fight.
This is a huge victory, and the way he dominated Henderson, Henderson's never been dominated like that, including by UFC light heavyweight champion Quentin Rampage Jackson. And here's the end of the fight. Dan's in big trouble here. Anderson gets the hooks in, sinks it, flattens him out, starts landing punches, and then when he flips him over and gets that body triangle, that was the beginning of the end. That body triangle constricts the breathing, and Dan's in just deep, deep trouble here. Forced to tap.
Man, he was trying to hold on, just seconds remained, but it was either tap or pass out. Anderson Silva.
How good is that guy? And who is the challenger now?
Well, you know what? You beat me to the punch, buddy, because, you know, we all said that Henderson was the best suited. He came down from 205, but now you wonder, who is the next man at 185 who can even challenge Anderson Silva and his tremendous reign as UFC middleweight champion?
What this reminds me of is Roy Jones Jr. in his prime, when it wasn't who's going to beat Roy Jones. It's like, who even wants to fight him?
Right.
Wow.
He's a great warrior still, though. One of the best of all time. Dan Henderson defeated in round number 2. Silva remains the champion. Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 52 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, and still the UFC middleweight champion of the world,